Well, hey, coming up next, I got to take a break. There's a story in the Post that Jackie Martling gave an interview. And I got to tell you, I got so much to say about this article.
Really? What is it?
I just want to set the record straight on all of this.
Uh-oh.
You know, I mean, this is just pathetically sad. You know, Jackie walked off the show and left. I'm not pissed. I'm not angry. We've moved on. But Jackie, of course, in his mentality, is painting himself as a victim.
Well, he is a victim of himself.
Of himself. And really, the guy should, like, calm down already and stop.
But how do you live with yourself if you realize you made the biggest blunder of your life?
Because he still hasn't learned anything from his mistakes. He's still blaming other people. Howard won't let me back on the show.
What I'm saying is, maybe you can't live with the guilt of what you've done, so you have to throw it off.
Well, yeah, but it shows me you know, as a matter of fact, I had this TV project I was thinking of perhaps hiring Jackie for or making him an offer about to write for. I'm not in it. It's stuff I'm producing. And I realize now, after I read this article, I don't want anything to do with this guy.
But that's
Howard, you know what it looked like to me, that article?
Yeah.
In the back of the paper, I don't know if you noticed, there was like 5 questions with Jackie the Joke Man.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and they use it to plug things. So he's plugging a pay-per-view special. So I got a feeling the Post said to him, you give us this story, and we'll give you your plug.
But he's still using me to get himself in the paper. It's like, hey, you left the show. And stop this nonsense about how I won't let you back on the show. You left. We begged. In fact, Tom walked in. He read the article. He goes, we begged this guy to stay. We begged him. And he just couldn't do it. So I said, fine, go live your life. We're fine with it. That's what you want to do. And then I made commitments to new people. There are a lot of people who are now, you know, sort of coming together and being a part of our show. And it's, you know, it's a new dawn, new day. But when I read you this article, it's clearly insane.
Well, again, you've never made a mistake like that, and sometimes people can't live with their mistakes.
I know,
so they got to make up a new story because, you know, you can't crawl out of your own skin.
But he can't keep making others responsible for his mistakes.
Well, sure you can, because some people live whole lives that way.
Well, whatever. I'll read you the article.
You know, they're never very successful because, I mean, you know, they have a self-destructive streak and they can't live with it.
I know. I feel awful for the guy if he made a mistake, but it's not my problem. And stop saying that I won't let you back on the show. How about, what am I going to do now? Fire the people that we've committed money to? And what they don't count? I'm going to be disloyal to them?
Well, that's the whole thing. Now he's ready to come back.
Yeah.
Obviously, you won't let him back.
Yeah, I won't let him back.
Oh, dear. That's like you quit a job, and then the job hires somebody else to take your place.
Yeah.
And you go, they won't let me back.
They won't let me back. I don't understand. Well, what do you mean they won't let you back? You left. Why'd you leave?
You had the job.
I think he sees the people that are sitting in his chair as people that just substitute till he comes back.
No, it's not the case. These are people who are being paid. These are people who I've made commitments to. You know. And, you know, I've certainly, I'm not going to be disloyal to them. And when a guy leaves and says to me he doesn't care, I take him at his word. I mean, who knew this was a game? I'm not involved in games. I'm working.
Hey, Howard, can I put you on the spot and ask you, do you think the shows are better without Jackie there, with different comics all the time?
I think they're different. I don't think that it's better or worse. I think it's different. It's a different show every day. I mean, our ratings have certainly never gone up as high as they have. I must say, the last rating period has been incredible for us. If that's an indication, I'm not even going by that. If our ratings were an all-time low, we're all enjoying doing the show. We're having a lot of fun. And I got to tell you, the last couple of months of radio for me have been absolutely fabulous. Yeah, I think the show's fine.
Jackie's putting a rope around his neck right now.
No, he did that already.
Well, you know, and I feel bad for the guy. I love the guy at a personal level. He's always, like, a lot of fun, and we love hanging out with him and everything. But the guy left the show. I mean, you know, I'm not going to sit here and be painted into I'm not letting him back. It has nothing to do with that. He quit. Who do you know quits a job and then says, well, okay, I'm ready to come back?
Every other time he quit, he got to walk right back.
Yeah, and I said to him, listen, this time I can't go through this.
Rich is sitting, he doesn't know. There was one time Jackie left, and we thought he was gone, and we were thinking, well, what do we do now? And then one day he just showed up again.
Yeah.
Did Jackie ever try to get me on the show?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, many times. Yeah.
That's why I'm being quiet now, because he's like a friend of mine.
No, he's a friend.
He's a friend.
It's not that he's not a friend. It's not that he's not a friend. It's just I don't understand the constant articles about how he's not being let back on the show. It's not about that.
Pressuring you to put him back.
What?
Maybe he feels that will pressure you to bring him back.
Yeah, but that makes me feel like, this is ridiculous. I don't want anything to do with this. Anyway, I'll take a break. I'll read the article.
I have to hear this article.
See you guys.
Do you want to say something, John, before I go to break?
I was just going to say, this is almost like, this is a cry for help, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, you go to a shrink. I think
he's trying to talk to you through the post.
I know. And it's just not working. It's just a turnoff.
Didn't Jay Leno's manager or something put an article in the Post that he was taking over the Tonight Show before he actually was supposed to take over the Tonight Show?
Yeah.
And it became like a pressure thing.
Right.
Because now they had to do it because it was already out there.
Yeah, maybe
that's what's happening.
He read the late shift.
That's what's going on.
He read the late shift.
All right, I'll read the article when we get back. That's true. Richard Jeni joining us this Wednesday and Thursday at Rascals Comedy Club. Go see him. He is funny. RichardJenny.com. For sure. All right, I'll read you this article. Forgive me. This is like the top thing on page 6. Forgive me, Joke Man, please. Jackie the Joke Man Martling is begging Howard Stern to take him back. Again, he had the job.
Well, he is right. Take him back, because he left.
I would love to be back on the show. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. But why didn't he know that?
But, you don't leave. That way you stay on the show.
I was just saying to Robin during the commercials, I can't tell you how many times throughout Jackie's 15 years here, he would go through this thing where he leaves, and I would turn around and bail him out. I would say to Robin, I'm going to dip into my own goddamn pocket because this guy is committing suicide in his life. He doesn't even know I'm saving him. He doesn't even know how good he has it. And she'd say, well, why are you doing that? I said, come on, he's good for the show. We're going to do it, this, that, and the other thing. And finally, this time I said, I'm sick of being mistreated this way. I mean, how many times do I have to sit and get put through the ringer? He leaves. It disrupts our show. I'm going to go out and hire some new people.
Going, and then he comes back when he feels like it.
And why do I have to? Not only am I bailing him out, he doesn't even appreciate it. He's angry with me. I've done him the injustice. He's not being paid his fair amount.
He comes back begrudgingly.
Yeah, he comes back with a chip on his shoulder. I said, I can't take it anymore. I don't hate the guy. I like the guy. I want to work with him. But what am I going to do with him? How many times can I tell him I'm saving you and have a guy be pissed off at me?
Am I in the Jackie chair now?
Yes, you are.
Because that's what somebody said to me the other night. So you're going to be in the Jackie chair?
Yeah, I know. People now come up to me and go, when are you going to let him back? And I go, wait a second. The logic here is all backward.
Like
we wanted him.
Pushed him out the door.
I begged this guy every day to stay. As we were in a private jet to Vegas, partying, I said, you're going to leave all this? I said, well, he goes, well, I got to do it. I'm going to go punch up scripts. I said, finally, he said, go punch up scripts. What do you want from me? In fact, he didn't even say anything. He just left. He quit.
You know what the funny thing about the show is people always say, what do you guys do? We really do talk about, we discuss our lives on the air. And I remember last year when you were trying to decide whether to sign your contract, you laid the groundwork early in the year and you said, I know Jackie's not coming back. Yeah. I know he's going to leave. Because you knew it was coming. It was almost like your way of warning him.
For a year, he warned him.
You say,
nobody's going to go through that again, Jack.
But he didn't believe me because I always bailed him out.
That's right.
In the past, I always bailed him out. And what used to tick me off, I would bail the guy out, then he'd come back and he'd be pissed off at me.
Never thanked you.
Never. Like, hey, man, It
was like, that was what you were supposed to do.
Yeah. And by the way, the guy was making a fortune. He makes 80 times more than what any Tonight Show head writer makes. 80. Times 80. Okay? It was just a phenomenal gross. If I told Richard Jeni the amount, now he'd jump out a window.
He's faint.
Right.
We don't want to hurt you, so we're going to keep it quiet.
Martling, who angrily walked out in February in a bid for more money, had rankled the king of all media by repeatedly threatening to quit unless his high six-figure salary was increased.
He rankled you?
He didn't rankle me. I said to him, Jack, I'd love for you to... Again, it's just this. I got it.
The reason to him off the air, or was
yes, I said to him whenever he would discuss it. He said he didn't want to discuss it with me.
Oh, really?
But I'd say to him, listen, love to have you stay. Think you're the greatest. If you leave though, I'm going to make other plans this time.
So you said that to him off the air?
Yes. I said it to him.
And his mind
but in his mind, it was like, you can't make it.
But it doesn't matter. You just don't keep throwing away a thing that's really good for you and expect it to come back.
This wasn't about money. This was about him teaching me some sort of bizarre lesson. That he has a chip on his shoulder, that he's the show, and that he should be the guy.
You don't think he's trying to teach Tom a lesson more?
No. Tom's thrilled if Jackie.
Tom will never learn a lesson.
Yeah, there's no. Tom doesn't. What does Tom care?
It's not possible to teach him a lesson.
Tom's thrilled, Jackie.
See, that's the mistake, though. I think Jackie thought that, it's like
Jackie was no.
Because at the end of the day, he thinks that Howard could be the guy to swoop in. Right. Because Howard has done that before.
Right. Anyway.
And also, I've heard that they're saying that he rankled you. I've heard that he rankled people in the company more than you.
Yeah, but everyone said to him, even Tom.
He rankled them years ago. Howard kept saving him from them.
Yeah. Well, even Mel used to come to me and say, I really don't want the guy here. I'm tired of his bull.
That was years ago. That wasn't just this last year.
And my mother used to call me and say, how long are you going to put up with this guy? She used to say it to me.
I used to scream at you.
Yeah, Robin was irate about Jack. But I said, listen, he doesn't know what he's doing. I'm going to save him from himself. I said this. Because he doesn't realize how wonderful he has it here. But then he'd come back and piss on me. And I'd say, my God, he doesn't really appreciate it.
Even after you go dipping into your own pocket.
And no offense.
Going to other people who want him gone and saying, no, bring him back.
And no offense, I can do this show without him. I mean, it's not that difficult.
He doesn't realize you were doing a show.
I know. He had no idea.
He came and joined a show.
He joined the show.
There was a show.
I was already a huge star before Jackie joined the show, and I'll be a huge star after it. Well, hi, Tom.
Tom was not thrilled, and Tom wasn't excited having.
No, but you know what I'm saying. In other words, the only person that really gets affected is me. And in fact, you came to me and said, I begged the guy to stay. Right. And I know you did. You like the guy. We all like him. All right. So Martling, who angrily walked out in February in a bid for more money, had rankled the King of All Media. And by the way, I wasn't rankled at all. I said
I take umbrage at your being rankled. You put up with more crap from him.
Yeah, because now it's turning into Jackie. I'm keeping Jackie from his job.
You got pissed and kicked him out.
Right. It wasn't like that at all. He didn't rankle me. He got up one day and said, I'm leaving. And I said, why are you doing this? You're walking away from your job. He goes, I'm leaving.
Let's put it this way. It was when did you get that email?
Oh, well, I'll get to that in a minute. But that's months later.
No. I'm talking about the email to tell you he was quitting.
Oh, he got it because he read in the paper that I was mad that the guy didn't even tell me he was leaving.
No. He called you for that. You got an email to say, I won't be in. On what day?
Over the weekend.
Over the weekend. He left on
over the weekend.
Right. He's not going to be there on Monday. He doesn't tell you 2 weeks earlier.
No. He didn't give me any notice. He tells you the
day before he's not showing up.
Yeah. So I said, well, first of all, the guy, after 15 years, leaves, walks out the door. I said, but you know what? I swear to you, and I'm not lying, I was never rankled, as it says here in the paper. I said, wait a second. He has obviously a different career path to go. I'm fine with it. It's not that big a deal if he leaves.
You were more at this point, hey, let me know what you're doing so I can make plans.
Yeah, and I said, there's a couple of guys I want to work with. If you're really going, I said, I'll wait a couple of weeks if that's what you need. He goes, no, I'm gone. He
was very strange because he sat there for, some time resenting Benji because he thought Benji was vying for his job.
Yeah, it was just really weird. And I just said, listen, I really would love to have you back. I said this to him on the phone. I think you're walking away from the best career you could have ever possibly had. This is when he called me. And I said, but no hard feelings. I said, if you want to leave it, that's what I want to do. I'm out of here.
Oh, goodbye.
That's what he said to me. And I said, are you sure? I begged the guy.
Wait. This is before he left? Or?
This is when he called me because he read in the paper that I had never called. That he never called me.
Okay.
So he says, "Listen, I'm not even calling you asking for my job back." He goes, "I don't want it back." He said to me,
"I didn't even know."
Oh yeah, he says, "I'm calling just because on a friendly level they said in the paper that you didn't get a phone call from me." I said, "Well, it did disturb me that you just didn't show up." I said, "But the fact of the matter is, I'm saying to you now, I'm going ahead and making new plans. If you want your job back." If you're sure, if you want to go ahead and pull the plug, go ahead. But I think you're making a big mistake, and here's why. And I said it to him. I said, I'm saying this to you. I did. I said it to him as a friend. I said, Jack, you're ruining your life. This show is going to go on. It's going to prosper. It's going to be big. I guarantee it. And I think that you should be a part of it. I said, it's a lot of fun. It gives you a life. You got a life outside of your home.
not a lot of hours.
It's not. I mean, I said, I think it's a good deal. I said, but I can't convince you of that. If you don't think you have a good deal here working with me, then go ahead and leave and have a great life. And he said, that's what I want to do. I said, okay, I'm going to make other plans.
You know what's weird, Howard? I had lunch with Jackie 2 days before he left the show. Before he walked off, and I said, listen, because he was telling me that he was thinking about doing it. I go,
he told you.
I said, Jackie, if you're going to leave the show, call Howard before you do that and talk to him about it. But, you know, because...
Well, no, he was going... He had to walk... He likes to walk off anyway, so he has a nice break for the summer.
Right.
But when he emailed, I was like, what the hell? Like, why would he email? I mean, he should have called me.
Because it's a big game to teach me a lesson.
Yeah, I think the walking off thing is more like, I'm going to show him I'm serious.
And when I walk off, Howard's not even know what to talk about. And it's like, you know what? I've always had things to talk about.
That's what always used to piss me off. He walked off like he's going to cripple us.
Yeah. Right. See, I think Jackie believed that walking off would once again raise the ante for him and give him the ability to come back at a higher price.
Also, when the ratings went up, it really screwed his head up.
Right, but that Wednesday that John had lunch with him was the day that I met with him and said, Jackie, this is it. It's gone as far as it's going to go. I'm offering you long-term security, et cetera, a lot of money.
Believe me, I wish you could announce the money. I know you would never do that, but I wish you could so people could fall off their chairs.
Could you tell us?
You
I said, I don't want to know. I think
you don't want to know.
I think it could hurt me.
All right. So anyway, let me finish the article because we'll never get through it. You should hear this. Okay. Martling, who angrily walked out in February in a bid for more money, had rankled the king of all media by repeatedly threatening to quit unless his high six-figure salary was increased. Since then, the joke man has been relaxing in his collection of houses on the beach in Bayville. That's where Dominic started laughing. He goes, first of all, Dominic goes, he's got 5 houses, not one of them's on the beach.
No,
again, here's a guy. Oh, yeah, right. One's on the beach.
Hey, Howard, now high six-figure salary would imply it's over $500,000.
I don't want to say what it was, but trust me.
John's fishing.
You're low. All right? Okay.
You know how obsessed John is? John came to me this morning and told me that he had a dream that I was making $540,000 a year because it had something to do with something he read about Jackie.
Yeah,
he's dreaming about it now.
Anyway. The quote, I wish I could go back to Howard, Martling's side, but I don't think so because I haven't heard from them. No, he has called me now multiple times. I've returned the calls. I've spoken with him and said, I've committed to other people. What do I do? I've moved on. This is what you wanted. This is what you said to me. It's not a question of me not taking you back. I'm not going to burn these other people.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Would Jackie ever be able to, like sit in the Jackie chair for 2 days?
You want to know something? After this article, I think we're best
I'm not giving that guy my chair.
Right. I think we're all best going our separate ways.
Maybe we'll sell him the Jackie
There's
chair.
no way he's
How much will you pay us to
Says Martling was reluctant to discuss the split. I don't want to go into the whole thing. And then he goes into the whole thing. I asked for more money, and they didn't want to give it to me.
Oh.
That's not true.
They didn't give him any more money.
No, he asked for more than we were willing to give him.
I mean,
but there was a raise involved.
Oh, absolutely.
So, wait, he's got it right. So they offered me a nice raise, and I asked for more, and when I didn't get it, I walked off.
Yes, that's what you did. You walked away.
So he recognizes that. He recognizes that.
You know what's really pissing him off now? He's thinking, if I was never going to get back on the show anyway, I could have punched Stuttering John.
But Martling soon regretted his decision. A couple of months later, I contacted Howard, and I said I'd like to take the original offer, but he wouldn't take me back, Martling moaned. Wouldn't take him back. He won't take me back.
You know, an offer doesn't stay on the table forever for anyone.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean take you back? You left the show.
You know what it is, Howard? I think Jackie feels... I don't know this. I mean, this is how I look at it. I think that he thinks that you're in control of the...
He is in control.
I'm in control whether he can come back.
No. Of the salary.
I wasn't. I said that to him a million times. In fact, when all these...
Jackie felt he was in control of the salaries because Jackie got him to give him money.
That's what I'm saying. So... You know.
A couple of months later,
he is in control.
In fact, we should have parted ways 10 years ago.
That's right.
Yeah, but I kept trying desperately because I knew that the guy was screwing himself. I felt bad for him. I really did. I felt like, oh, my God, he has no idea what he's giving up. He's completely insane.
But he was an asset, though, at the same time.
Of course.
See, I look at this whole thing, and I think, like, Jackie was almost like an alcoholic. Like, he just didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Martling, no, he absolutely doesn't know what he's doing. You know what? He doesn't have a Yiddish cup.
It's almost like
Martling still doesn't know what he's doing.
He still doesn't know what he's doing because this article is blaming Howard for his problem. Howard won't take me. There was nothing to contest. The job was his.
Money they offered me, and now they won't give it to me.
The job was his.
Yes.
I think he waited too long with that, too.
You can't lose something that's yours unless you throw it away.
Just so I don't know, you know this, but the day he didn't accept, he was told, if you don't accept the offer, it's off the table.
I know.
If you want to come back.
But, Howard could put it back on the table.
Right.
He knows that. Daddy could put it back on the table.
Martling, who worked with Stern for 15 years, said it's too painful for him to listen to the show anymore because he misses it so much. I have little contact with Howard. I mean, we are friends, but I miss laughing and carrying on like a third grader for 5 hours a day.
Right.
I'll put the show on
and getting great money for it.
and having a party. I'm sorry if I come across as weird, but I'm in a weird spot. I have been lying very, very low, just living on the beach, swimming, and riding my bike. What happened to all the scripts that were going to punch out? He had a whole career plan.
No. He's swimming.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried about sharks. Let them eat me.
No, see,
That's funny.
Yeah, no, but I think the shark thing is like he almost wants to die.
Well, yeah, he's saying, who cares? Let him eat me. It's so gorgeous here. We have fires and barbecues on the beach. I've worked day and night for 20 years, and it's nice to take some time off.
Well,
there you go.
He's enjoying himself.
I went to one of those beach parties.
You went to that beach party?
Did he ever tell you that story about the turds? And
Yeah, we went through that whole thing 20 times. Although Martling doesn't have a steady job, he's gearing up for an uncensored pay-per-view, and he's booked some live appearances in casinos and colleges.
Well, good.
There you go.
He's working, God
That's better, isn't it? Getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning?
As for Stern still using him as a punching bag, Martling said, Howard ragged on me for 15 years when I was sitting there. I consider him my friend. I would be more upset if they didn't rag on me. So.
That's nice.
But as much as Martling may want his old job back, insiders say a hurt Stern has ruled the joke man will never work for him again.
Who are these insiders?
Confess, I'm not hurt.
I got to go with AJ on that one.
Yeah, I'm really not hurt. I don't know how to say.
I'm talking to the post.
I'm hurt when I'm in love with somebody and they,
They don't realize
they reject you.
Yeah,
exactly. Howard was hurt by Jackie leaving the Insider, told Page 6 in June. He thought they were like family. He thought Jackie was making plenty of money for what he was doing. I don't, you know what? I never knew what he was making.
Please. You don't decide what people make.
Howard has said on and off the air that Jackie won't be back. And he won't be back because we've committed to other people and moved on. And that's, and that's the bottom line. And as far as this victim thing where Howard won't let him back, Howard offered him 20 million opportunities to be back. He wouldn't come back.
There's no reason to leave.
I think, but the whole thing is, I think if you're going to leave, then you got to,
you want to know something?
Ready to deal with it if you leave.
Right. Thank you. You know what? Here's the deal. When you're about 20 years old and something falls into your lap, that's unbelievably great. Sometimes you expect
it to blow it.
Sometimes you blow it because you don't know. You think the whole world's going to be like that. It's like almost like, you get a job like this at 20 and you go, oh, my God. If I got this at 20, imagine what I can get at 25 if I leave.
Or if the guy who at 20 gets the TV show and decides he's going to leave it for movies.
Yeah, Suzanne Summers was 20 years old. Didn't realize how difficult it is to have a big career.
Right. David Caruso.
Right, David Caruso, or any of these guys. But Jackie already was 53 years old.
And he'd had some crummy times.
Had a bunch of crummy years, even through his late 30s. At some point, you have a great thing. And appreciate it and treat it like the diamond that it is.
And guess what that point is for Jackie?
After he loses it.
Now, yes.
After he walks. He didn't lose it.
Now he realizes it was a great thing.
He gave it up. He gave it up. He walked away from it.
The whole time he was doing it, he didn't realize it was a great thing.
Yeah. I'll give you an analogy. In 4 years, my contract's up. At that point, Tom hopefully will come to me and say, well, do you want to continue? Do you want to quit? Do you want to whatever? And if I say to him, listen, Tom, I'm leaving. I got to go. I've had enough of radio. Well, can we offer you more money? Nah, it's really I need to go swim on the beach and punch up scripts in Hollywood. All right? And then Tom would say to me, is that your final decision? And by the way, the difference between me and Jackie, I wouldn't be belligerent about it. I'd be like, hey, we had a great run, but I want to go.
Well, you're not finished with the analogy.
Yeah, but let me just say something. And then, about a year later, I wake up and I call Tom and I go, Tom, I want my old job back and give me my money.
But Tom has a contract with some other guy.
But Tom's already Tom had to go on and run a radio station and make a living.
He still had a morning slot to fill.
Yeah, and he filled it. Imagine my gall calling up and going,
that bastard, he won't take me back.
It won't take me back. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't put your brain in somebody's head. You can't leave.
Jackie never really had a job. He didn't know what to do with one. He didn't understand that, the job eventually goes away.
If you leave
it back at
the comedian, he doesn't know about jobs.
Right, exactly.
He never learned that concept of giving somebody else the job.
I had lunch with, one of the guys that
You also got to be able to assess your own talents. You got to also say, hey, this is the perfect thing for me. No, they can't do that.
I had lunch with, one of the comedians, like that sits in Jackie's chair now.
Yeah.
He was telling me how this is so great, how this is like so much better than having to do comedy. Like, I mean, I didn't realize it, but people really, all these comedians envy this job. This is something that they would.
Well, let me tell you something, though. When Craig Gass came to me, he says, I couldn't get a gig anywhere.
Couldn't get people on the phone.
He says, since I've done your show, I'm turning down gigs. I'm booking out everything. He goes, I'm not sure. He goes, now I got these agents. They want to sign me to do a thing on MTV, a cartoon, or this or that. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that it's the greatest job in the world, but when you got a gem, you don't walk off. And if you walk off even, I even spoke a couple of times after he walked off. I said, come on back. Come on, do your thing. I said, before I go make other plans. No, this is it. I don't want to be there. And I said, okay. I said, if that's what you're telling me, I got to go make other plans. You understand? Go ahead, do what you want.
Do what you want. Come on.
So it's a silly article to read every 3 months in the paper that Howard won't take me back. That's like me trying to get my job back after I leave.
Well, I always say sort of like, this is like, equivalent to a rock band. And when somebody, leaves the Rolling Stones keep going.
They have 8 guitar players.
Yeah, they just keep going. The guitar players, you don't know who they were.
Tony, you're on the air.
Good morning, Howard. This is just way out of hand. Jackie, really, God forbid your show stuttered half of a bit.
Yeah.
Jackie would have squeezed you.
That would have been impossible.
Manipulated you, and he would have squeezed the whole show.
Well, I said even if the ratings went in the toilet, I wouldn't care.
Howard, you guys got your game down. You're doing very well.
Thank you.
I would love to have Jackie back. I was a long fan for a long time.
Right.
But I think he really played pussy on this one, and he's looking to squeeze you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
It is very sad, though. I mean,
it is. We do feel bad about it.
What is the first thing I said to you when you called me and told me this? I said, I am sad for Jackie. I didn't get angry. I was like, I'm sad for Jackie.
That's how I felt. I said, I'm really sad for the guy. He doesn't know what he's walking away from. And I even said it to him. I swear to you, I had this conversation. I said, I feel so bad for you. He goes, don't feel bad for me. I go, I feel bad. You don't know what you're walking away from. I said, but, listen, I got to move on. I said, if you want to come back now, but I got to move. And maybe I can talk to Tom, and I'm sure Tom at that point would have said, okay, what the hell. I didn't know what else to say. I said, I think you're making a big mistake, but I got to move on. I'm sorry. And he goes, don't be sorry. This is what I want to do.
I mean, I love Jackie, but I think he waited too long to change his mind.
Yeah.
Like if he would have waited, like you said.
You can only wait a week with me. Joe, you're on the air.
Yeah. Howard.
Yeah.
What's up there, babe?
Hey, bro.
All right, listen. This show has never been better because that douchebag left. Okay?
Yeah.
The show is 10 times better without that guy than it ever was. Joe Barger said so, so tell him that.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Ted. Ted, you're on the air.
Hey, Howard. How you doing? Good morning. Hey, not for nothing. You used to rag on him, though, because I heard Friday's show, and you was ragging on Olio all day. It's more like a Batman and Robin complex that you guys got.
Yeah, well, listen, we rag on everyone on the show.
What does that mean, a Batman and Robin complex?
Well, he's Batman, Howard Stern's Batman, and Jackie's Robin. You know how Robin always wanted to separate from Batman all the time, but he always got back with Batman. Also, his cable show really sucked, though, I gotta admit. Yeah, like, you can see his old age spots and everything. He's, like, really getting old.
Well, listen, I'm not here to bust on the guy. Don't know anything about that, but, look, I mean, I just had to respond to the article because it's really getting dull and boring to keep reading that, and it's just so ridiculous.
Howard, I got another question.
Yep.
All right. You say he's an alcoholic. Do you think that the alcohol has something to play with it?
No, listen.
Stop drinking it.
He said John's the alcoholic.
John is now our alcoholic.
Yeah, we still have a show alcoholic.
No,
lose that.
Replacement alcoholic.
Jackie did drink a lot, but he wasn't an alcoholic. I wouldn't call him an alcoholic.
When I said that,
I don't know. That was his image.
I think he's responding
know.
before I said it's almost like Jackie's an alcoholic. What I meant, it's almost like he had an illness where he doesn't have the ability to recognize what he's doing.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he's literally one. Yeah. So anyway, that's my response to the article. And by the way, I just want to correct the image that I am somehow not letting someone back, or I'm irritated with him. I'm not. I didn't understand it. I was shocked, but I'm not irritated at all with the guy. I like the guy. He's a great guy. He's a fun guy. In fact, you go find him on the beach and hang out with him. He's a great guy.
I mean, I think everybody feels the same way.
Yeah, John is quickly becoming the most fun guy.
So much
He's even more fun. He was fun. He was fun, Robin. He used to hump you like nobody's business.
Exactly.
Right. Just like Gary Busey did.
Exactly.
Oh, my God. Well, that's why I wasn't ready for Gary Busey.
Robert,
I wasn't Jackie.
So, hold on. You're on a desert island, right? Yeah. Gary Busey or Jackie? Who do you take?
Gary Busey.
So, Howard, on a side note,
sure.
In 4 years, are you going to come back? Or?
Oh, my God.
You know what? It's probably too soon to make that decision. But I'll tell you,
I think
getting out of bed, I think I'm probably done. I think this is my final.
I think that you can say anything you want 4 years from that day.
Right. When you're faced with the decision, and let me tell you something. Unlike Jackie, I am someone who dreamt about being in radio since I'm 5 years old. And radio has been a terrific run for me, and I love it. It's my favorite thing in the world to do. And it's great. But the landscape has changed. Things have changed about radio that I don't necessarily, feel all that excited about anymore. I don't like getting up early in the morning. I mean, who does? And maybe this will be it. I mean it for real. I mean, I'm really doing some soul searching.
You know why I think that you're not coming back? And I'm not talking about anything that happened in your life, but your personal life now is different, and I think that...
Is that a 10?
Well, no.
What number am I?
You're 11.
Right.
11. But you're, like, living life now, and you realize that getting up at the crack of... Like, the things that you want to do in your life, and you don't want to get up at the crack of dawn.
Your personal life's a 10 now.
Right.
I'm talking here, Miss Quirrell.
No, I have a different philosophy, though. He's single now. Keep the show, because look at the little poon you could be getting now.
No, because
all of a sudden you were married.
Everybody's screaming.
Well, let me tell you.
You know what? You're not going to know until it gets close. Last year you...
I will sit down with Tom, because Tom really understands this thing. What?
You don't have the torture of sitting down with Tom.
I would sit down with Tom because I've worked with Tom now for over 15 years. So I would have a conversation with Tom.
I got a question for you.
And I'd say, Tom, I never want to see you again.
I'll stay if you leave.
If you see me on the street, don't acknowledge it.
Howard, I got a question for you, and if it's too personal, just tell me so. Okay. In 5 years, not now, but 5 years from now, listen, you could always use more money, but will the financial aspect of it be an issue, or will it really be a pure issue?
Of course it will be.
No.
Of course it's an issue.
It is not.
Absolutely is.
It's not.
You have no idea.
Work, you silly person.
You're wrong.
You just want it all. You
want it all.
You're like Tom Cruise. You want the whole $300 million.
Be honest. You got enough money.
I don't. I really don't.
He does.
Get the hell out of
here.
You have to work.
Trust me.
I had a financial loss recently. Setback that was staggering.
Even that setback wasn't that bad.
Staggering.
No.
Come on. You know, Tom Cruise is struggling, too, giving away half of $300 million.
Yeah. A staggering setback.
I didn't have no $300 million, honey.
Howard, a staggering setback was the crash of 29.
Right. You don't even live like such a expensive lifestyle. I mean, it's not like you're like throwing money away.
Yeah, you're not crazy.
How much does it take for you to live anyway?
Well,
as a matter of fact, I don't spend a lot of money.
That's
You're right. But I'll tell you, I fixed my house up, unlike Dominic.
You rent or you own?
Oh, my God. What do you want? His
Rob, you're on the air.
Good Lord.
What is it, Rob?
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Hey.
Hey, you know what? I saw Tara Reid on TRL the other day. I think it was on Thursday.
Really?
Yeah. She was on with Carson Daly, and I just wanted to comment because I think KC said that she had no ass. She does not have an ass.
No, she doesn't.
Well, hold on a second.
I think
she's a toothpick.
All right.
Oh, my goodness.
You want my comment? You want my comment?
Yeah.
I'll give you my comment.
I would have loved to see her with Carson Daly again.
Yeah. First of all, did you see American Pie 2, Tom?
Yes, I did.
Is it funny?
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, I'm anxious to see it.
Is it fun?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun and funny.
Tara Reid, I did spend time with one night in California, not romantically. She was around a group of people, is one of the most annoying women. And she came in here, and I didn't find her attractive the night I was with her. I had also seen her in some interviews. I didn't think she was that attractive. When she came in here last week on Thursday, I thought that she looked good. Really good.
There was a raging debate about who the hottest girl was. Because there were 3 girls from American Pie here.
I don't know that her personality rubs me the right way, particularly her defense of Lizzie Grubman. But
her torso was oddly shaped.
But I got to tell you something. I thought her body was smoking.
Yes, you like sticks.
I like a skinny girl.
She's half the girl.
She's a queso, dude.
She's half the girl of American Pie 1.
Skinny.
I need a queso beta banger.
Really? You gotta be kidding me. She's hot.
You're a
Oh my God.
Her body is right, guy. It was really thin.
It was oddly skinny, and I'd bang her in a second.
Right.
That's the truth.
Blonde, skinny with big boobs.
How did you? How bad is that? Did she look good in the movie?
Yeah, she looks fine.
Yeah.
Howard, you bought her a Mercedes, didn't you?
Yeah, right.
If you could put Tara Reid's head on that other chick that was here,
Allison Hannigan?
Allison, put Tara Reid's head on Allison.
I think that was
there was a lot of argument as to whether Allison was hotter than
Tara Reid's hotter than Allison.
Yeah, her face, but Allison has a better body.
But, you know, Allison was cute.
No, she doesn't.
See, this is what I heard all afternoon after that show.
Well, I'm not going to debate this. I'm going to settle this once and for all. Tara Reid looks great.
We went to John's screening, and all the guys were saying, Allison was the hottest.
No, and as much as I like Allison better as a person, Allison Hannigan, but Tara Reid is hotter. And that's it. And no more debate on it.
But Allison's hot. She's not as hot as Tara, but she's cute.
I said no more debate. I told you the order.
I'm not debating it.
You're the final determinant.
Well, who's going to be the final?
I think there should be a vote.
I guess we're all in agreement that the third chick was the ugliest.
Oh, that's horrible. None of them were ugly.
No, I like that third chick.
That's cute.
Dominic Barber, you're on the air.
All right, now, I spoke to Jackie for an hour on Friday.
Oh,
How did that happen?
Now, by the way, please don't lie.
How did that happen?
He called me. I was in my car driving up to Connecticut. Now,
He has your cell phone number.
yes, he has his cell phone.
I don't.
That's the absolute truth. I would not lie.
Okay.
And I want to express a different opinion, even though it's just my opinion. I think...
You know what, Dominic?
Tara Reid was hot.
I hear his cell phone breaking up.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Your opinion matters so little to me.
Good.
That I'm not even going to bother with it, number one. Number two, you're a completely warped human being. I've heard your point of view on this 20 times. Dominic calls me, you should let Jackie back on the show. He's a good guy. He's your friend. It's not a question of that. I've committed to other people. What part of that sentence don't you understand?
Listen.
Have you ever had a lawyer leave your firm?
No, of course, all the time. And
you don't have a slot.
It's not that we don't feel bad for him. We love the guy. He's a great guy. We feel bad. We sat down with the guy. We begged him, don't leave. Stay. It's the best job you'll ever have. At what point do you say to someone, at what point do you want to sit with someone who doesn't appreciate what you're doing for them?
I understand.
So your point of view matters little. And the phone call to you matters little.
What I suggest is that we all have to sometimes forgive people.
But again, you're not understanding. It's not about forgiveness.
He made a major mistake of his life.
Yes.
Dominic, as a producer of the show, I can tell you that I've taken funds that were earmarked for Jackie and committed them in other areas. How should I now handle that?
Where's his salary supposed to come from this?
Why don't you pay Jackie and he can come back?
Yeah, what if Dominic puts up the money?
Put up all the money that he makes. And when I tell you what he makes, you'll fall over.
And I'm not talking about guys who sit in the Jackie chair or today the Rich Jenny chair. I'm talking about for other things that we have contracts for.
Dominic says he knows the numbers, by the way.
Dominic does know the numbers.
He does.
I told him. And Dominic.
I won't say them.
Is it mind-blowing?
Mind-blowing.
Okay. There.
Come on, this is not fair.
No,
he told me the numbers. I was like, oh, my God, he's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, was anybody not generous?
No.
What are we missing out on here?
Jackie,
and we took that money, Dominic, we took that money, and when he called me, I said, are you sure this is what you want? I think you're walking away from the best opportunity of a lifetime. Forget about the money, the excitement, the glamour. I mean, movie premieres and going to Vegas and carrying on. I said, I don't know what it is you think you're doing, but I'm going to commit to some other people. And he said, I have no problem with that. And I said, okay. And I did it. It's not a question of forgiveness. You got to be honest. If I left this show tomorrow and I came back to Tom 6 months later and he hired a whole new morning staff.
What's he supposed to do?
What's he supposed to do? You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
I think Dominic's telling you to, like...
I've spent a long time talking about this, and I'm done. Because people always ask me about it. I read the article, and now I've commented on it. It's enough.
I still feel
so sorry.
Yes, of course. Everybody feels bad for him.
I mean,
he made a real blunder.
That's going to change his whole life.
That's not my responsibility, though. That was his responsibility to think things through. Don't paint me as the victimizer.
And you know what?
Yeah, well, that's what that article does. It's like, oh, Howard won't save me yet again.
But you know what else is weird, Howard? Jackie's life is not over. It's just over here.
Yeah.
You know, in other words,
go on.
He'll go and find something else, and he'll fall into a niche, and he'll be okay if he pulls it together. But
absolutely.
It's not like his life is ended.
Yeah. Well, that's what he's painting it as. Like, you got to let me back. This is my God-given slot.
It'll never be the same, though.
Right. Well, it was a mistake. And we all feel bad. And, and by the way, Dominic...
Could be better. You never know.
He could go. I disagree with that.
I can't tell you how many times I sat down and this same scenario played out. And I, despite my better judgment, bailed him out. And he came back and was not grateful.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's what everybody keeps forgetting.
So
he made a mistake. No, he did this over and over and over.
So we've had 50 trial runs like this. And still no learning.
It was always going to be this way.
Yeah. So at some point you can't work with a knife in your back. You understand? At some point you can't. If you had a room full of lawyers who worked in your firm, who carried on like this, you wouldn't be able to get a day's work done.
Yeah, I guess I really do understand, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I know. You feel bad for anybody who blows a good thing.
We all feel bad for him.
That's right.
I mean, he really blew it. He realized, I don't agree with any of you that his life will ever be the same. It won't be.
That's right. Thank you, Dominic.
Fix your house.
Go fix your house.
Go fix your house.
Yeah, fix your house, I beg you.
Turn the pool heater on.
All right.
Maybe he'll do well.
Can I just talk about...
You don't know.
You don't know. He could do very well, or he could be standing there going, I'm Jackie Martling for Lamps Galore. We're smashing prices.
I think he'd love that.
Hey, can I just say one thing about that was weird from TRL with Tara Reid?
Yeah.
She was on with Carson Daly. They brought up the entire cast, like 9 of them.
Yeah.
They put her so far in the back. Wouldn't you put Tara Reid up front? She's a hot babe. They stuck her so far in the back, and it was like Carson never met her before.
It was like he wasn't on the show with her.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Right.
Howard, I want more money.
Already.
I've been here 2 days.
You're fired. You're out.
Fair enough.
Richard will never be the same.
We've learned.
One person who
now your life is ruined.
I wish you the best. This whole thing is Fred.
Yeah, Fred doesn't talk about this.
He made his bed, let him lay in it.
Oh.
There you go.
That's it.
Well, he's right.
It's over for
what else is there to say?
How many times? How many times are you going to hold the show up?
Robert and I had a discussion.
Fred and I have spoken about it off the air.
Have you?
Yeah.
I'm with Howard on that. I felt bad.
Yeah, we all felt
bad. But you want to know
bad.
something? There were so many times that Howard, kind of like, as Gary said, set the stage for him, let him know what was going on, let him know what the financial arrangements were, et cetera, and he blew it.
There's always a part of a guy who's used to being a front guy that never really accepts being a sidekick.
Right.
That's where he should be somewhere else.
Then he should go be a front guy.
That's what I said to you. I said, you got to realize this is the Howard Stern show. If that doesn't sit well with you, you got to go somewhere
Very
else.
few people can make that transition, and there's always like a little part of you that...
Projecting a little, Richard?
Talking from experience. We speak the same language.
Richard had his own TV show.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking from experience.
Are you kidding? He had all that. He gave that up.
He was the white guy in the black channel.
Right.
Join me on the beach.
Yeah, Richard, you were on UPN.
UPN, yeah.
You're the one white guy.
Yeah. Well, they did. That was the first year that they had sitcoms. Was that first year, and I think it wasn't a bad show. It was overexposed. I don't think it should have been on every week.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people say that.
Yeah, right.
You know, that show's good
talk to
about
my
once
dad.
a month.
Did you have any black people on your show?
No.
That's why I felt.
Is it embarrassing when your show gets canceled? Like your dad, does he like call you?
I mean, do you call everybody and say, I got a show?
Here was my dad's comment on the show. My dad saw the show, I swear to God. I said, what do you think of the show? He goes, yeah, I wouldn't rush home to watch it. It's not bad. It's all right. I wouldn't run home to see it.
Oh.
It's not Seinfeld. I go, hey, Dad, it just started.
Yeah.
When the show was canceled, did you want to beat Stuttering Don up for it?
You know, this is interesting because I got to tell you something, and this relates to what you're saying about Jackie. when it was canceled, my manager was looking at me like it was the end of the world. And at the time, I was like, hey, you know, what's the show, dude? I'll get another show. That's all right. I had no idea, and this may be what Jackie's going through, how hard it would be to get that going again. That was lightning in a bottle, and I've had 4 deals since then.
Right.
They all fell through.
Very hard to get something on air.
Very, very, very hard. And I had no idea at the time.
I even said to him, I said, you're a 53-year-old guy. You don't know you got to go. Who do you think's looking for a 53-year-old guy, comic writer? I said, you got a situation here. Ride it out. Yeah, but, you know, I can't put my head on his shoulders.
When you're in a Paramount lot, you know, it seems like you're always going to be in a Paramount lot.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, I'll do another one.
When those gates close behind you, you know, it's 2 months before you're out there and they're going, I'm sorry, what's your name? Do you have a pass?
Yeah, who are you? But I had a show here. Yeah, but it's a good lesson for everyone.